It started on an ordinary Thursday evening, the kind of quiet, uneventful night you don't realize will change your life until it's already over. My wife, Laura, was sitting on the edge of the bed, her phone glowing faintly in her hands. I walked in, expecting to see her scrolling through social media or checking messages from her coworkers. But the way she jumped when she saw me, the way she immediately locked the screen, made my stomach tighten. "Everything okay?" I asked. "Yeah," she said too quickly, forcing a smile. "Just texting a friend." I nodded, pretending not to notice how her hands trembled slightly. That night, when she went to take a shower, her phone buzzed again on the dresser. I hesitated, fighting with myself. I didn't want to be the kind of husband who looked through his wife's phone. But when I glanced down, the name on the screen made my heart skip. Michael. Michael wasn't a friend. He was her coworker. I'd met him once at her office party. The man who'd laughed too loudly at her jokes, stood too close, and shook my hand with a grip that felt like a challenge. The preview of the message read, "I wish we could just talk like we used to." I didn't open it. I just stood there, staring, the air suddenly heavy. When she came out of the shower, she noticed immediately. "You saw something, didn't you?" she whispered. "No," I said quietly, "but I saw enough." She sat on the bed, clutching the towel around her, tears welling up. "It's not what you think," she said. "Then tell me what it is," I replied, trying to keep my voice steady. "It started months ago," she said. "We were both working late, talking about our marriages, our lives. It was innocent at first, just two people venting. But then the messages got more personal. I didn't mean for it to happen, but I liked how he listened." My chest tightened, but I didn't interrupt. "We never crossed a line," she continued quickly. "We never touched. But it was getting close. And I hated myself for it." I sat down beside her, feeling a storm of anger, sadness, and confusion tearing through me. "So why didn't you stop?" I asked. "Because you were so distant lately," she said softly. "Always working, always tired. I missed you, and Michael just noticed me." I stared at the floor for a long time, trying to find words that wouldn't destroy us both. Finally, I looked at her and said the sentence that changed everything. "You almost betrayed me, but you still have a choice. Decide which life you actually want." She froze, her eyes wide. "What do you mean?" "You can't live halfway between guilt and comfort," I said quietly. "Either you face what's missing in our marriage and fight for it with me, or you walk away and stop pretending. But I won't stay in a marriage built on almosts." She broke down, sobbing, saying, "I don't want to lose you." I didn't say anything. I just stood and left the room, giving her space to think. For the next few days, we barely spoke. She slept in the guest room, and I drowned myself in work. But one night, she came to me holding a folded piece of paper. "I wrote to Michael," she said, handing it to me. It was a printed email, short and final. "This has to stop. I crossed an emotional line I shouldn't have. I love my husband, and I'm choosing to fix what I broke. Please don't contact me again." She had already sent it. "I also told my manager I need to transfer to another department," she said. "I'm done with anything that threatens us." I watched her, waiting for the anger to surface again, but instead, I just felt relief. "Do you mean it?" I asked. "Every word," she said. "You were right. I can't live halfway." The next few weeks weren't easy. Trust isn't rebuilt overnight. There were awkward silences, tense dinners, and moments when I'd catch her looking at me with guilt written all over her face. But something else started to happen too. She began showing up, really showing up. She'd call me at lunch just to talk. She'd sit beside me in the evenings, no phone in her hand, no distance in her eyes. And I found myself softening, remembering the woman I fell in love with, the one who always fought for what mattered. One evening, I came home to find her setting up old photo albums on the table. "I thought maybe we could start over," she said. "Not forget. Just rebuild." We spent hours flipping through pictures of our early days, the road trips, the small apartment, the messy beginnings that somehow felt more honest than anything that had come after. That night, before bed, she said something I'll never forget. "I didn't realize how close I came to losing everything until you gave me the choice to walk away. Most people would have yelled or left. You told me to choose. That's what saved me. I looked at her for a long time and said, I didn't save you, Laura. You saved yourself the moment you decided to stop lying, to me and to you. Months later, we started therapy, not because we were broken, but because we wanted to understand how to stay whole. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. And that's all I ever wanted. Sometimes people think betrayal only happens when someone cheats. But it starts much earlier, with silence, distance, and all the small decisions that push two people apart. The night she almost betrayed me, I thought our marriage was over. But the truth is, that was the night we finally began again.